And everybody told me she will change her mind. I said, no, it's not. The poor house was very difficult. We paid, I don't know, I didn't know anything about mortgage, I didn't know anything about prices. I like the house and that's it. My husband said, what's the matter with you? How can you afford it? The mortgage was very high. I didn't know about percentage. I didn't know anything about it. She charged us 7.5, where everybody goes for 5.5. She was about no good. Huh? She got what she wants. We pay, after that we know that we pay the two houses. That's the only thing we are doing. Nothing happened.
Lie, 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 lie. Shabbat Shalom on this beautiful Friday evening here in Paradise, South Florida. We welcome you to Temple. I'm Rabbi Robert Davis, one of the rabbis here. This is Rabbi Ethan Baer, one of the rabbis here as well. Alan Caves is helping us with the music, and we're glad that all of you can be here. And let's take a moment as we do a little nigun together. Let's take a moment and stand up and greet each other and wish each other good Shabbos. Rabbi, Shabbos. Got to bring it to Philip. Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, thank you. Shabbat Shalom. I haven't met you yet. It's nice to meet you. You what? Oh, wonderful. Okay, sure. We'll sing. Absolutely. No worries. La 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la. Please be seated. And we welcome back to our community from their summer absence the Folsteins, Susan and Marshall, to come on up and to kindle the Shabbat candles and to lead us in Kiddush, beginning on page 2. במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen. And let's continue with Kiddush on the next page. We want to just read in English, yeah.
Vayehi Erev, Vayehi Boker Yom Hashishi. And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'rantzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yava uvratzon hifianu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Yivacha ve'nukita ve'shah uvra Kadesh Chaim. And as they are enjoying a little Shabbat Kiddush wine, we're going to ask you to turn to page 13 as we sing together Psalm 96, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, sing to Adonai a new song. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruchu Shemo, Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato, Sapru v'goyim kevod, Bechol ha'anim niflotav, Gadol Adonai, Umhulal me'od, Norahu, Al kol Elohim, Kol Elohim, Eretz b'miktasho, nine, 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 continue with welcoming the Shabbat bride, this metaphoric moment when the mystics of Shabbat would go out into the fields and all dressed in white and be ready for Shabbat, and they would greet the Sabbath as a bride. Lecha Dodi, page 20, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Dodi likrat kala yananai 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 Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala yananai 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 ne Shabbat nekabel ha Shamor vezachor bedibur echad Anu Adonai echad ushmo echad V'shemo tiferet ve'et Lecha dodi likrat kala yananai 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 ne Shabbat nekabel ha Lecha dodi likrat kala yananai 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 ne Shabbat Lecha dodi likrat kala yananai 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 ne Shabbat nekabel ha Lecha dodi likrat kala yananai 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 ne Shabbat ha Hitoreri hitoreri kiva ore kumi ori Uri, Uri, Shidaberi, Kevod Adonai, Halayich Nigla. Likrat kala yananai, 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 ne Shabbat, nekabel ha. Lecha dodi likrat kala yananai, 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 ne Shabbat, nekabel ha. Shalom ateret balha gam besimcha uvetzohalha tochem unei am segula boi chala Lecha dodi likrat kala yananai 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 ne Shabbat nekabel ha Lecha dodi likrat kala yananai 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 ne Shabbat nekabel ha.
This week's Torah portion takes place as we're just about ready to enter into the Promised Land. And the rabbis have compared this moment in our prayer service, this moment when we're about to say the Baruch Hu, chant the Baruch Hu together, as a similar type of entering. Just as we entered into the Promised Land with a sense of hope and looking forward, so too do we enter into this next part of our prayer service, hoping for blessing and prayer and that the universe will somehow hearken to the sounds of our lips and the prayers of our hearts. We continue with Baruch Hu, page 28.
Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam.
Page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhma poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishnei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem b'rakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai hamari v'aravi.
Page 32. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. So tonight is the second to last Shabbat before Rosh Hashanah in just a week and a half, as people keep reminding us, and I keep reminding myself. And tomorrow night is Slichot, our first opportunity as a community to come together and say prayers of forgiveness. So one of the prayers that traditionally is part of the Slichot service is Shomer Yisrael. And the words are simple and stirring. They're Shomer Yisrael, Shomer She'erit Yisrael, Ve'al Yovad Yisrael Ha'omrim Shema Yisrael. So it means guardian of Israel, guard the remnant of Israel. Let Israel not perish, those who say Shema Yisrael. So in this prayer, Shema Yisrael is not described as our central prayer, but we actually identify and define ourselves to God as the people who say Shema Yisrael. So when we say the Shema, we're not only saying a prayer, we're actually enacting who we are. So before we say the Shema tonight, I bless us to be among those who continue to have the privilege of saying the Shema in community, in good health, and with clear concentration. And may we say it, as the Haftarah for tomorrow teaches, feeling connected to the eternal light of God inside us. Page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. Page 36, Ve'ahavta. Thank you. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'chumecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein enecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha Uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Page 39. Let's read together at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, We still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Micha Mocha, page 40.
Ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya 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 la 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 mi chamocha ba'lim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot Osefele, Nora tehilot Osefele, Ma'alechutecha ra'u vanecha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'yameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Page 44. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. B'Shamru.
Shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את המים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
So in a moment, we'll stand and continue with the Amidah, our central prayer of every service. And as we've been doing the last few weeks, at least when I've been part of the service, is we will truly pray the Amidah, meaning after we sing the first few verses, the first few paragraphs together, we'll have time for silent prayer here within the prayer book. So from pages 52 through 62, and invite you to stand or sit during that time, whatever is most meaningful for you. So please rise, page 46.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Maken, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Sohomech Noflim V'Rofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atal Chayot HaKol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yolucha selha. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. If you're still davening, please don't feel rushed. Please continue. Otherwise, we'll continue with Oseh Shalom on the bottom of page 62. And you may be seated. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'himeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, ve'himeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, ve'himeru amen.
Take a moment now to pray a Misha Barak, a prayer of healing for friends and family, perhaps for ourselves, for those in the hospital or at home, healing from surgery or recovering from illness. And we bring those souls into our hearts, but we also bring their names to our lips so that everyone in the congregation might be able to pray on behalf of the people for whom you're praying. And So I'll ask you to please rise if you can to mention the names of the people for whom you're praying. Thank you. We've been asked to mention these names as well. Gail Ossip, George Lublin, Jason Albert, Lenny Hecht, Bill Meadow, David Siegel, Judith Ryder Cornelison, Elisa Benray, Muriel Dubrow, Marta Leva, Marilyn Sheffman, Randy Aronson, Shirley Aronson, Sylvia Levitsky, Roberta Ty, Vicki Engelman, Sherry Werbin, Richie Harris, Doris Oleski, Amos Naman, Arlene Lessel, Maria Bernard, Gabrielle Dessonnier, Chana Sarah Bat David, Chava Leah Bat Hadassah, Bill Jean Smith, Linda Lee, Esther Bat Zissel, Ruth Rachel Bat Sarah, Rachel Bat Miriam Umordechai, Ravi Patel, Raz Castle, Herb Block, Jose Fraga Sr. And we continue to pray on behalf of the American and Israeli soldiers who are missing in action, being held captive, or in need of physical and emotional healing. And we pray together, Misha Barak, page 253.
And we'll sing the Debbie Friedman melody.
Misha Barak avotenu bekor habracha leavotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe berach imotenu, nekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And now, I want you to think about those things in your life for which you're grateful. I want you to think about those moments of happiness that you may have experienced during this past week, since this past Shabbat. I want you to think about the goodness in your life. If you have something for which to be grateful, I'll ask you to please rise. If you got a birthday or an anniversary going on, I'll ask you to please rise. If you're doing something to get ready for the high holy days, please rise. And if you're getting ready to stand for the Elenu, I'll ask you to please rise. And as we're all together as a community, let us count our blessings that we have arrived to this moment, to this season, to this time. Shehekianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. page 282 for the Elenu. And who we got coming up? Here we go. We've got someone coming up to help us open the Ark doors. And if any of you would like to get a little bit closer to Jerusalem, it's this way, and you're welcome to come on up and join us up here on the Bima. Elenu, page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Take a few moments now to remember all those who came before us, those who may have died in years past at this season, those who may have died in recent days. As a congregation, we remember the more than 6 million men, women, and children that were murdered in the Shoah, the Holocaust. Remember all those who died making sure that our homeland Israel exists for us and for Jews everywhere. Remember all those who perished in the name of liberty, freedom, justice, and righteousness. And we remember all the innocent victims of hatred, ignorance, terrorism, and natural disasters. On this Shabbat, we remember the following friends and family whose yortzites are being observed and whose names have lovingly been inscribed on plaques which are in our alcove of remembrance. We remember Isidore Abrams, Frida Barg, Joseph Bubis, Evelyn Cohen, Howard T. Drexler, David Matthew Dubrow, Sarah Freeberg, Philip Garfinkel, Saul Glotman, Lurky Goldberg, Simon Goldstein, Nachum Golem, Stanley S. Graham, Irvin M. Green, Nard S. Hellman, Laura Hockman, Natan Hoffman, Loretta Holtzman, Philip Kessler, Ida Leah Krinsky, Abraham Kurland, Harry J. Levy, Rose Lickshine, Leonard Luria, Barry Menon, Norman Miller, Nathan Orlin, Ralph W. Osikow, Jean R. Ossip, Julian A. Rickles, Erica Rosenbaum, Elizabeth Shiner, Samuel Spunt, Richard J. Stern, Joanna Stern, Leon Stoller, Hildegard Tobias, Julius Zalkin, Elizabeth Zion. And remember as well friends and family whose yortzites are being observed at this time. Remember Miriam Avick, Sarah Perlman Bukowski, Samuel Blue, Alan Mitchell Channels, Beatrice Cherry, Nisim Kuhn, Sylvia Reckles David, Burl Donenfeld, Abraham Elmala, Theodore M. Epstein, Paul Fiedelholtz, Edith Friedman, Saul Furman, Nathan Golden, J. Jack Greenberg, Howard Greenfield, Rosalind Weiss, Ella Haas, Helen Halpert, Lillian Hirsch, Benjamin Kreef, Shirley Lasky, Henry Levy, Leonard Persky, Ruth Feinberg Reynolds, Sidney Rosen, Jacob Rosen, Ira Rosenfeld, Blanche Rosenstein, Lynn Rikus, Marvis B. Schachter, Robert Siegel, Randy Stephen Sheffman, Shirley Steen, Isidore Sukanik, Linda Tamara, Annie Trubeau, Anna Klain Warner. And we remember friends and family who've died in recent days, and their families remain in the Shloshim of mourning, in the 30-day period of mourning. Remember Michael Kropp, Seth Joseph, Linda Boyask, Lillian Brick, Rabbi Daniel Treaser, Gladys Lawrence, Nina Burstein, Lillian Subaratz, and Donald Krasner. If there's a name that I haven't mentioned, you're in a period of mourning, you're saying Kaddish, you have your side, I'll ask you to please rise and mention those names. And please remain standing as we're going to join together for Kaddish in just a few moments. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of all the righteous be a blessing as we rise and with one voice recite words of Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye echon v'yom echon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kariv yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'rechu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Da'amiram b'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all of you who mourn, comfort all who are bereaved, and send healing to all who are saddened, as together we say, Amen. Amen. Please be seated. I'd like to invite up a member of our board, Michael Pardo, to share greetings on behalf of the board, on behalf of the congregation. Good job.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So, we obviously have, we obviously have the high holidays coming up and everyone's focused on it, and we have a lot of wonderful services, and I hope you'll all look through the calendar and pick the service that you find most appealing. There's plenty to choose from. You should, if you haven't already, be hearing from someone, at least one member of the Board of Trustees, calling you to wish you a happy and a healthy new year. Some of you may even receive a call from me, so I look forward to speaking with you. A couple of announcements that are in your pamphlet. First and foremost, tomorrow evening, 6 p.m., there's a great dinner that the temple is having in addition to an Israeli film. It is dinner and an Israeli movie. Come see Mark Baranek. There are only a few spots left, so definitely see him tonight. Don't wait to show up tomorrow. Oof is right. And it's difficult to plan that far ahead, but in your pamphlet, you'll also see that there is a golf event on October 29th. If you're a golfer, definitely sign up, set your calendar. If you're not a golfer, I think there will also be a dinner afterwards for the non-golfers. So you have no excuse not to show up. So definitely put that in your calendars. And with that, I wish you all a happy and a healthy Shabbat, a happy Labor Day, and a Shana Tova.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Recently, I was meeting with a person that was studying toward conversion, and I told her that my teacher, Uncle Max Frankel, taught me that there are two ways you can tell when someone is ready to be Jewish, when they're going through that process. The first way is that they stop talking about Jews in the second and third person. You Jews, or those Jews over there, but they start talking about Jews in the first person. Me, I am Jewish, my holiday, my temple. And they begin to see themselves as Jewish. And then the second thing my Uncle Max said is that the other way you know that you're ready to be Jewish is that when you get out of a chair, you no longer say, gosh, I'm stiff. You say, oy. And the same is said when reading the disturbing news in the newspaper or watching the television or the feed on your Twitter or however you're getting your news, or you drive down the street and see what's going on. There's a lot of oi out there in the world. The Jewish sensibility, the Jewish rhythm, culture, laws, tradition are all passed to us so that we can, in a sense, tenderize our hearts. I'm not sure who taught me this, but I think it was last year. You know, on the high holidays when we go Al Chet Shekatanu and Ashamnu, we beat our chest. Someone in the congregation said, I don't beat myself up. I massage my heart. I try to make it tender so that I can let the goodness come in instead of inflicting any more pain anywhere. And that's what our tradition is all about, trying to massage our heart a little bit so that we can be a little bit more tender when we stand up out of that chair and we're a little bit stiff. By nature, well, Natalie's here, so I'm not sure if this is, she'll verify afterwards, I hope. By nature, I am not an oi kind of person. Not that I don't have a few complaints every now and then, and if you'd like to meet me afterwards, I can tell you about them. I generally wake up a little tired in the morning, but in a good mood, ready to go, ready for the day. I think of myself as a realist with hope. I try to avoid self or other imposed pessimism. To be fair, I have participated in my life in some pseudo-optimism, but my preference is reality with hope, which I believe is among the things that makes me Jewish, among a lot of other things. Hope is what helps us when we go to sleep, knowing that we will get up in the morning. And hope is what helps us to get up in the morning, defying the ever-present physical and emotional gravity. Hope is what frees us to cry, knowing that pain will pass. Hope is what allows us to celebrate and rejoice. We need hope in our world and in our lives. And of course, we need to behave in a way that makes us feel like life is worth living. Hope is essential. This week's Torah portion gives us a formula for hope. We read, the Israelites are just getting ready to head into the promised land, and Moses gathers the people together and says, "You have seen all that God did before you in the land of Egypt, the wondrous feats, the signs, and the miracles." And then it says, "Yet, until this moment, you have not had the mind to understand, or eyes to see, or ears to hear." In other words, great stuff has been going on around you. These miracles, these signs, this going from slavery to freedom. Stuff's been happening for you and in you, and yet you haven't had really any awareness of it. One rabbi teaches that in the desert, our freedom was a lot like getting a new toy, but with no batteries. We didn't even know the category of freedom. We were enslaved. We had no hope in the mud pits of the bricks, making bricks out of mud in Egypt. And so we didn't have even this vision to operate something called hope or freedom. And now that you're entering into the promised land, the next phase of the existence of our ancestors, we have to shift our perspective from being wandering, runaway slaves to being people that have a sense of what I would argue realistic hope and a sense of being hopeful that we can actually experience freedom. There's a big difference between being a runaway slave and being a free person. We might be out of that physical bondage, but as long as we're thinking like a slave, we're not truly free. The wondrous feats, signs, and miracles will no longer save us or be the tools of the path for our redemption. There's one teaching that when, I taught this many times, when the Israelites were walking through the Red Sea, they started to complain and moan and whine about how great the food was back in Egypt, and I'm hot and I'm thirsty. And then when one of the Israelites, a couple of them, start to complain that their shoes are getting muddy, and then Moses has this great wisdom. But it's at that point that God says, I believe, that the Midrash teaches, that God says, that's it. I am done with this whole miracle thing. I just brought them out of freedom. 10 plagues. Then I split the sea, and they're complaining about their dirty shoes. That's it. No more miracles. They're going to have to own this themselves. We are going to have to own it ourselves. We're going to have to bring about freedom in our own ways. In thinking about these Israelites, I kind of imagine this line that says, up until this point, you had freedom. You've been wandering freely for almost 40 years, but you haven't really owned it. You're waiting for more miracles. You're waiting for all this other stuff. I kind of imagine all the Israelites standing out there in the desert in ruby red slippers, clicking them together 3 times. You know, there's no place like home. There's no place like the promised land. There's no place. Well, there is no place when you're wandering and you're lost and you've got no home. And the text says, open your eyes, open your mind, open your ears, find a way to understand. Our home is not just a physical destination, but it is when we realize that all along we have had the mind to understand, the eyes to see, and the ears to hear. The hope of our tradition is not the hope for a new externally imposed paradigm. Rather, we have always had that which is necessary to live a meaningful and fulfilling existence. The Jewish assumption is that that the cultivation of hope is an internal process, not an external one. We do have a mind to discern and understand when we study diligently. We have the eyes to see clearly the truth when we take off our own blinders and our dark shades. We have the ears to attune ourselves to the highest calling of our souls when we quiet ourselves and listen. The Jewish gateways of understanding, seeing, hearing, and hope can easily be obscured by the slavery of pessimism, the slavery of short-sighted realism, and of empty optimism. I believe that this Torah portion gives us the antidote to the oil of life. It is to passionately and persistently open our mind, our eyes, and our ears, and I would add our hearts, and especially our hands. We have to do something about it, to change, always for the better. And that doesn't happen by just thinking about it. It happens through our hands, by how we act and how we live. Realistically, it is not easy to constantly reframe our lives in this idea that we actually already have the hope that we need within us. But I have hope that will do it, and I hope you will too. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will that we find a new and hopeful way to enter this new year, but it's with our hands and our hearts and our minds and our eyes that we're going to do that. Amen. And so let's all stand up with a hopeful voice. We're going to sing a little Adon Olam, page 321, and then I hope you will join us together for some oneg, for some sweetness to celebrate the Shabbat together.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa V'chefto kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yilov Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Ve'hu Echad Ve'en Sheni Lehamshilo Lehachbira Beli Reshit Beli Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamizrah Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Goali Ve'tzur Chevli Be'etzara Ve'hu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi Be'yom Ekra Be'yado Afkid Ruchi Ve'tisha
Shabbat Shalom.